history of violence kicks his way out of a prison van and sparks a massive manhunt.
Woodford County and much of central Kentucky is still on edge tonight as the search for the escapee enters its 14th hour. Steve Taylor joins us now with the very latest. Steve.
Well, Vicki and Rick, I just spoke.
Everybody I've asked to try to help you, they all say, oh, I have a story. Like, if you were here, I think you have a very strong memory of exactly where you were. I don't think there's hardly anyone in town that was here then that wouldn't remember it, because it was pretty much an all-out alert. My mother always said Versailles, until I finally said, well, in Kentucky, it's Versailles.
I think it's a pretty nice town. As far as towns in Kentucky go, I would say it's a nice town.
Every town has its unique flavor. We're known for our horses and for the bourbon. Okay, I think we're ready.
In a small town, people will call me, and so I got a call from the secretary for the superintendent, and she said that there had been an escaped convict and that all the schools were on lockdown.
We were all, trying to huddle in the corner and be quiet, and we did this for like 30 minutes, and that's really abnormal. So we were like, what's going on?
This is my 32nd year. This is the only time that I can ever remember dismissing school and we didn't run any buses.
We were both in middle school. I think I was in 8th grade and you would have been in 6th grade probably. And they locked us down and they wouldn't let us leave until our parents came to pick us up. They cut off bus services and they made parents go to the office to get their child, that you couldn't just go to their car or walk home or anything like that.
Yeah, I guess at first we didn't really know what was going on.
We can walk from here to the elementary school, so I knew he had escaped within walking distance of our house. So that was a little scary.
I was working that day when the call came out that they had a escaped inmate close to the Bluegrass Parkway. He was known to the Boston mob, pretty dangerous guy. He had actually jiggled the window the whole way and got those screws loose so that when they got off the parkway, he was able to push the window on out and jump out and take off.
Everybody knew about it. The word was spreading about this person, that he wasn't your normal criminal that you might expect to escape in Versailles, Kentucky.
People in Versailles are looking for some excitement, and this caused a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I did feel like it was exciting because it was like, oh boy, I don't have to sit and listen in class. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what he did, but the rumor was that he chopped up little girls in his bathtub.
I mean, people were making rumors that they saw him, even though they totally didn't. Someone said that he was on his way to Mexico. I don't know, my friend's dad said that. And I'm like, how would you even have any information like that he's on his way to Mexico? I don't know, people were just saying the most ridiculous things, like they had watched in a movie, an action movie almost, or something like that, like a crime mafia drama,
We heard stories that the mafia was coming and that they were already here in town. And
I mean, I feel like I remember more rumors about the situation than what actually happened. I've probably romanticized it in my mind.
I was stationed out on the Bluegrass Parkway, just standing outside my vehicle. I had my AR-15 out. We had helicopters from Lexington Police Department, from the National Guard. We were waiting on nightfall to be able to use the infrared. We got a sighting of him over by the airport from a muskrat hunter, saying that he saw him, he took a shot at him, so the 2 helicopters leave that area, go over there to check it out. It was a false sighting.
This was a Thursday, so by Friday we thought he had made it to Lexington and we were safe, but then we found out that wasn't true when actually showed up right down a few houses down from us here. So police everywhere, and TV crews. So I ran over and was in the garage with her, and then my friend who had seen him run down Huntertown Road was driving around here to see what was happening, and I stopped her and she goes, I saw him. He went right from the school across Huntertown Road. And if we go back here, I'm not sure how he got back in this area, but we'll walk through this yard because I know these people will. Not that anybody really cares, but
it's daylight, it's the next day. We're getting so many calls, everybody wants to report this guy.
Everyone was on the hot spot trying to catch this guy. It was a fun witch hunt. You would hear about everyone's parents being like, I'm gonna go try and catch Kaposi. Like if they had a lot of land or something, they'd walk around their land with like a shotgun.
They were telling everyone, oh, check your garages, like check a shed, playhouses, things like
So Jimmy went out, and the first thing Jimmy did was he went
up
out.
a pickaxe. He picked up a pickaxe.
Got a pickaxe out of like the garage and then went to check the shed.
And he would have been 9 years old at the time.
like my husband and I searched the attic, everything when we got back in the house just to make sure nobody was in here. It was frightening more than anything else.
He had been already 24 hours and they hadn't located him. So we do have a shed. So we went out back and we had the kids lock themselves in the bedroom upstairs. And I stood here with the phone and he went out with a baseball bat to see if he was in the shed. And I just remember the moment just feeling like this is surreal. It's like from the movies that there's an escaped mafia man in our neighborhood that could be in our shed.
Every time a dog barked, people, oh, it's Derek Kaposi, and they'd call the police. Or one lady's chickens were startled by something, but it could have been anything. It could have been a cat for all we know. But she's like, it was Derek Kaposi.
I was going and responding to those sighting calls. I got the one, I pulled up and the lady was like, I'm like, so where did you see him? And she's like, well, I didn't see him. And I'm like, well, you called and said that yeah, but my cat saw him. And I'm like, your cat, okay.
There were so many sightings.
Yeah.
By the time he was running down our street and the police were all over, we'd heard he was in Lexington. So we thought.
Well, it doesn't help that he looks like the average guy too. He's like average male height, average male build, brown hair, like blue eyes. Looks like everyone around here.
Now, Kaposi was a white male. When I got to this call, I walked around back and it was an African-American male working on his lawnmower in the backyard. This is not Kaposi.
We heard helicopters overhead, so I went outside and I saw so much activity from law enforcement that I decided to seek high ground. So I took the kids out on the roof.
Dad hung out in the living room at night with a shotgun, and we went home and it was kind of exciting because it was like, oh, who's gonna catch the prisoner?
I think I spent one night partially awake in the living room just to protect the family. And I think I had my gun.
I mean, we're driving through neighborhoods and I'm riding in the back of the truck with these canines. And it was really eerie because you had all these people out on their front porches that in this community that are scared to death. And a lot of them are sitting out there with their rifles and pistols and everything else. So it was kind of surreal.
I've been here 7 years. You've been here.
I've been here 15.
Yeah, 15.
I'm Debbie Edlin, and I'm with Nick, who's doing a documentary on when Derek Kaposi escaped. Remember that? Do you have
that weird guy that they found on the railroad track?
Yeah.
Oh, what fun! That's bizarre. I wonder whatever happened to him.
I'm sure he's still in prison somewhere.
Probably. I thought he'd still be in prison, but I thought someone may have knocked him off by now in prison.
I didn't see a no trespassing, did you?
Oh, we might get shot.
Well, I know people get shot on a Sunday afternoon, but,
yeah.
You're in Versailles. But there is that old bridge track, but I don't know exactly where.
So he's going to go over and sit by those railroad tracks to get out of town. And so that's where he was sitting when he was caught. Unfortunately for him, those railroad tracks haven't been used in over 15 years.
People wanted the narrative to continue because it was almost like a soap opera.
Everyone was talking about it. You always had something to talk about as opposed to just the humdrum nothingness.
LEX 18 News was there when alleged mafia member Derek Capozzi was caught. It's the end to a 3-day manhunt by land and air that has terrified an entire community. He's been spotted all around.
He never made it out of Versailles. He just never could get out of here because there's no way out of here.
We always look out for one another. I think we always are mindful of things.
Everybody came together that moment, a lot of neighbors, we were sharing information.
I think the community effort was probably more confusing than anything, even though you kind of rely on the community. It was a community effort, for better or worse.
When it was over for me, it was over. It wasn't like all of a sudden we were locking our doors more. And now it's just a good story, you know, because nobody got hurt, which was great. Had somebody gotten hurt, it would not be a good story.